Pinch of ginger, sponsored by Home Icon.
Hi, it's Maddie and I'm back with Pinch of Ginger to show you a recipe for Ooey Gooey Chocolate Cookies. So let me show you my ingredients. We've got 2 types of sugar. We've got soft brown sugar, caster sugar, self-raising flour, vanilla extract, 1 egg, some unsalted butter, and the most important ingredients, chocolate. My favourite. Absolutely love chocolate. Got a massive sweet tooth. I love these cookies and so do my children, so I hope you enjoy it too. Right, let's get started. So I've set the temperature to my oven. I've got an electric oven. It's fan assisted and that's on at 180, so that's already up to temperature. I'm going to start by lining my baking tray. I find it easier to turn the baking tray over and cut a little bit of baking paper, any size, just to coat it. There you go. And literally, that is all you need to do. You could put a little bit of butter under here to make it stick, but that's how I do mine. And it's really simple. Right, so scales today. I know on a few other recipes I haven't used scales, but we have to be a little bit more specific on this one. Unsalted butter, 125 grams. This is 250 grams, so we just half it. All of the ingredients and the recipe will be on my blog, so it should be pretty simple and it's quite fun as well. I'm doing it today by myself because my little boy's at school, but feel free to get stuck in with the kids because it is a fun one to do. However, you do find that they will eat the dough before it goes in the oven, but there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to add that in to the bowl. That's 125 grams. Should be. Yeah, pretty much. So that's 125 grams of unsalted butter. Then we're going to add the sugars. My scales are quite good, I just need to reset it every time. So we have 125 grams of caster sugar. There you go. And then we have just 100 grams of soft brown sugar. There we are. Now we're going to go in and give it a good mix and cream the butter and the sugars together. I have got a big overhead Kenwood mixer that I would normally use, but I appreciate that not everyone has one of these. So I thought it would only be fair to show you how to do it the good old-fashioned way, the way my grandma used to teach me to cook, is really get stuck in, use your arms, use all your muscles, and give that a good mix. Get it all combined. You can use a hand whisk if you want, an electric one, which aren't too expensive. You can get them from the supermarket or on Amazon for about a tenner. Right, so we're going to combine that all together. Just using the back of the spoon. I left the butter out overnight so it was really soft. If you've just bought the butter from the supermarket and need to soften it, you can put it in the microwave. Maybe blast it at 10 seconds at a time, otherwise it will obviously melt. It's just a little tip if you haven't got soft butter. You can also buy a lot of spreads these days, like butter spreads, and they're generally already soft. Right, so we've combined that together. It's all mixed up. Okay. Okay, so we've got 1 egg, a touch of vanilla extract. It's normally about half a teaspoon, but I just tend to have it in the cap. So put that in and then pour that in. Okay. Give it a good whisk just to combine them together. Okay. And then we're going to add that into our butter and sugar mix. Good stir. Bit like that, mixed together, still quite runny, and then we're going to go in with our flour. self-raising flour, 225 grams. So I'm going to reset my scales again. You can sift this in, but from experience, I really don't think it's necessary. So 225, good scoops there. I'll put a little bit too much in there. There we go, that is perfect. Move that out of the way. And I'm going to mix that in. It's obviously going to go everywhere, the flour, as it does, but that's part of the fun of baking. Getting stuck in, getting it all over. It sort of all combines together and turns into quite a thick dough. To loosen it a tiny bit, I'm going to add a touch of milk. Just a tinsy bit, and that'll get the flour off the edges. Bring it all together. There we are. Pretty much all pulled together. Go. With this recipe, you can make cookies with it, but you can also make little cookie dough desserts if you like. So you can put them into little ramekins and put them in the oven for about the same amount of time. And when they come out of the oven, just add a scoop of ice cream, and that's a really, really good dessert. Very American. So there we are. We've brought all our mixture together. Now we're going to go in with chocolate. I love dairy milk, I love Galaxy, I love Lindt chocolate, I love Milka, I love chocolate generally. But for this particular recipe, again, for ease, you need 200 grams of chocolate. Generally, most chocolate bars or bags are about 110 grams, so rather than having to weigh it out, you just take what's on the packet and literally just add 2 packets of that. But today I'm going to go with dairy milk, and I'm going to go with milk chocolate and white chocolate. I'm going to add that in. There's a lot of chocolate, by the way. One for me. Roll over well. Put them all in. And then just sort of fold it all together. If you just use bars of chocolate, put them in a bag, or just keep them in here and just get a rolling pin and give it a good whack to break it all down, because you don't want the pieces to be too big. But I don't really like using chocolate chips, because if you want a proper cookie, you want a massive piece of chocolate in each mouthful, and I think chocolate chips are a little bit pathetic when it comes to cookies. So go with something where you can get a nice piece of chocolate in each bite. So these chocolate buttons are breaking down a little bit as I stir them, but that's absolutely fine. There we are. So that's our mix. Here's our baking tray. Put the baking paper on before. And now we're going to go in with our hands. So you want roughly, depends how big you want them. I mean, this mix could probably make about 12, but I'm going to make 6 big cookies. So nice, I don't know what you'd sort of say, maybe golf ball size. So just put 6 of these on for now. As you're grabbing the mix, make sure you get a good chunk, good amount of chocolate in each handful. Now they do spread out quite a lot. I might even just put 4 on here just for today, and then make the others later when my kiddies get home from school. The good thing is you can keep the mix as well, so just pop it in the fridge and keep it for a few days. Or freeze it, you could probably freeze it. And just put it into small bags if you wanted to make a big batch at once. So there we are, there's 4. Tell you what, I'll go with another one, put it on the end there. If they all merge together, it's okay. Oh, look at that one. There's a big button in there. Bit more dough. Okay, put that there. Right, what you need to do now is with the ball of your hand, just give it a little press. Now the chances are these will merge into each other, but it's absolutely fine. These cookies are really, really similar to the Millie's cookies that you can buy. And when you get those, they're quite rustic and they're all different shapes and sizes, so don't worry too much about being perfect. I'm going to give my hands a wipe. I'm going to put these in the oven. Now, between 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven. My oven is quite a strong oven, so things do cook quite quickly. I tend to keep them in for about 8 minutes. When they come out, they do still look quite soft, and you think they're not going to harden once they've cooled, but actually they harden and they're perfect. They're still quite gooey in the middle, even when they're cold. So I'm going to go in the oven with these. Obviously, you can use a bigger baking tray, but I'm just doing it today with a small one. Pop those in. And then we're going to set a timer for 8 minutes. And there you have it, my Ooey Gooey Chocolate Cookies. I'm Maddie and you've been watching Pinch of Ginger. See you next time.
Home Icon, carefully curated cookware. Shop direct at homeicon.co.uk.